Hello, welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 98. I'm just back from walking Charlie Roo. We just did a parameter check, so I'm a wee bit late. We've got to stop those illegals jumping the wall, namely hedgehogs and woody cats. So I'll just cue some music in the intro. And at the moment, we've got no one joining us in voice. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully the volume's working. I think it's working. Hello. Good to be back. So I'll just keep it short. So still trying to set up with it. So it's good to be back for another live. It's been a busy week, and a tiring one. It's been very hot. If that works still. That's very slow. Type the welcome message. Not to the hundreds. I'm not too sure who's out there. Say hi in the side chat if you want. Just double check those are loaded. Did that not work? Good to be back. What's going on? I did an update. I didn't check it on VLC player, but I don't think it's working anymore. They've changed something. You know what? That's something to look at next time. So whereabouts? So we've got one watching. So I'll probably just do a recap of what happened last stream. It was a big one in the end. So I've got a lot of shite over the Socorro one from various people, including those in MUFON. And they also hassled me saying Google should not be used for research or something like that, which is kind of a silly statement because obviously if MUFON did do some research, they wouldn't have said secureteam was awesome to start with. But yeah, Because the guy was a PhD in science and maths, and he had his own website, and he had clippings of documents that said the helicopter was flying that day on his website. It was only put up mid 2018. And I assumed that because he's a professor in a university that he would not be fabricating stuff up. So and he's been on TV and stuff. So yeah, just to say using Google is not a good place for research is kind of silly. As you know, Google was trying to index all books in all libraries. So you could search for any keyword and you could search it for all books. That would be a powerful tool if that was available. That doesn't mean that we have to fly to America and go to some basement somewhere to try and find some old documents that weren't scanned in. If someone did that over there in America, as like all museums and libraries did it, and sort of made all information free, we'd be better off, especially if they made those secret government documents all unblacked and scanned in, so we could actually do some proper research, see what's been covered up, because we know there's obviously more going on, and obviously it's going to be a mixture of maybe aliens and UFOs and their own stealth craft, of course. Stuff that they don't want the Russians to know about, or the Chinese. Seems that Chinese is probably kicking Americans' ass in space at the moment because they're sort of doing it. You know, I won't be surprised to be the first ones on Mars, actually. So all we've got is SpaceX at the moment, and possibly Virgin. What's that one called? So yeah. So this is the website I was talking about. I've been in contact with Dave Thomas, actually. I've seen him an email. I don't know if he's had time to even look at the stuff I put together and seen him the pictures I made. Who knows? He might even put it on his own website here. But this interesting letter from August from Ron, 2018, where they're talking about silvery suits. That's the first time I've heard silvery craft and silvery suits. He repeated the silvery craft angler. So I don't know where the oval thing is. Now they're talking about angler craft. So now that was from the police chief, wasn't it? Polo, the chief. Where is it? I did talk about it last time in detail. Where is it? Polo, Pinetta, and Lonnie Samara. My mother worked at the First State Bank at the time and knew both of the cops pretty much. So one cop said a slightly different story by the sounds of it then, which is kind of interesting. So who knows, more witnesses might come forward before they die, and they might find some paperwork hidden away in whose tool company, because the logo seemed to match that. And yeah, what can you say? People are debating it as to be because it was a top security facility, the Air Force Base, and the NASA was top secret from the Russians. They wouldn't be testing that out where it could be seen in public. But I've always argued that we don't know that they were tested in public. They simply may have been transporting another prototype with the robot arm, which was called the Surveyor 3, because the first one was prototype 1, on the helicopter. And because people were used to the helicopter flying overhead, they pay no attention, and they probably had a cover over it. And maybe it blew off or something, and they sort of landed down near the mine. Who knows? And tried to recover the sheet or whatever. But as on the remote area, they might have been trying to do a quick test. Maybe something got torn off, and they might have decided, well, do we turn around and take it back, or do we keep on going? who knows what went down, you know? And of course, if people think that's an alien spacecraft, why would it have rockets on it? Rocket thrusters lifting off with rockets. We know that's a human idea. I think aliens with anti-gravity wouldn't need rocket motors, you know, using chemical or liquid fuel. They would be using anything with advanced electrical motors like iron engines that produce iron thrust. They wouldn't be firing rockets and blue and orange flames, of course. So my reasoning makes perfect sense, and other people's questioning are really just distraction, you know. People should just, I don't know, maybe because they're just so invested in that UFO case as being the best one because it's cited by a traffic cop or whatever, you know. So I'll just post that link there again. Give that Dave's website a link. Like I keep saying, we've got to keep on questioning everything. Just don't take it as status quo. They're saying that some guy was saying on an argument that the no documentation showed no pilots were scheduled for lunar module testing. But on this site, he's got it listed here. He's found a document. All right, down here. This guy, Dave Thomas. There's the document. So it's scheduled in the morning to midday. So doesn't mean there's not enough document out there too. If they found this one, you never know. It might be at Hughes Corporation or with NASA. I guess this was from what's it say? Air Force Base, yeah, New Mexico. So that's flying out of the base. So what was flying into the base, that would be recorded here, would it? Delay, range. So you can see what I'm trying to say. It's a bit like that Utah UAP that I debunked, and people are arguing it's got to be a UFO traveling at 9,000 miles per hour, not making a sonic boom on the camera, not knocking the camera with a wind gust and all this. Why did it have to bank, you know? Just common sense. If it's banking, it's using air currents, it's using wings. UFOs don't have to bank. You saw that To the Stars footage where it sort of rotated, but that was the camera rotating there. They said that it was hovering above the sea at one point and it shot directly upwards, which is very common of classic good what's this on the side? A good UFO sighting. Come on, man, stop with the language. No swearing or trolling in the side comments. It's going to be on UFOs, nothing silly, okay? Else you end up being banned. So, where was I? So I'll summon up this here. Also, why would UFOs have landing legs is another question. So, I guess UFOs could have some form of landing legs if they had a power problem. That sort of makes sense, but rockets on a UFO doesn't make sense whatsoever. And of course, Hynek said that the burn marks or the craters created by the thrusts weren't large enough to be powerful enough to lift a craft into the air of a car size. But if you imagine if a helicopter of that weird shape I showed was already hovering and it's on the lunar modules on a a boom arm that you sort of raise up and down on a hinge system, which is probably what they would have to do. They would lower it down to the ground while it's still attached to a helicopter and do some thrust tests and robot arm test or whatever. It makes sense. And you wouldn't see the propellers, and because the rockets are foreign, you wouldn't hear the propeller blades anyway. So everyone was saying, oh, he was only 35 feet away. Looks like I'm going to have to ban someone here. See you later. Or not at all. Don't think you can. Okay, now talking about sex and stuff. I said buddy. I didn't say the word that was mentioned in the side. So, yeah, been sort of people just putting me off already. I only got one watching. That's a troll. So, what was I talking about? The boom arm. All right. So, yeah, even if the distance of, if you search on Google, it ranged from 35 feet to 50 feet to 100 and 200, 1 to 200 yards away. I've not seen any map location where the clock claims he was, and the site, so you can't do a proper Google map calculation. It might be out there. It might be in the FBI files. So we don't know. But even if you're 35 feet away and it's firing the rockets and the helicopters already got the blades going and they're painted white, you're not going to see them or hear them. So the distance thing and the security issue, and that was, we know stuff gets transported to Air Force Base. And obviously not going to do it by a road when they can fly it just by helicopter and do it in half the time, or 35-minute trip. Yes, what's 2.5 hours that we calculated on Google last time. So, yeah, so I think that's probably it, pretty much recapped. I still think it's a man-made object. It may be a lunar module thing. It may have been something else they were testing in secret. And they also said the FBI investigated, asking all the manufacturers and companies whether they made anything that fit the description of the object seen. Of course, they're going to say no, because an egg-shaped thing with legs and rockets doesn't sound like anything they would have built. But if they said, oh, did you send a helicopter with a lunar module attached or covered to the Air Force Base, they may have said yes, even if it's been declassified. But as we've seen by other interviews we've done with Il's mother, talked about an underground base. So she took all the information with her in her dying days. So, yeah, what can you really say more than that? And of course, I think the cop did pretty well, really. If you look at his drawing compared to all the stuff I put together, it's he got a lot of details. He remembered a lot of the sign he saw on the side of the craft. He may have got not all the details right, but he may have picked out the triangle and the straight lines going through it, and the straight lines may have been small writing underneath that may have looked like a line. So yeah, I think the logo does it for me. A UFO that has a logo similar to what can be found for Hughes Corporation or NASA Apollo mission is kind of suspect to me. So, yeah, so I'll just move on from there anyway. So I'm sort of sick of talking about this particular case if people can't see what I'm getting at. So always keep neutral. A lot of people got the bias. They think, nah, it can't be this, can't be that, because I've read all these books and that all the experts have said it's not a blah blah and say it's UFO. Now, we've looked at experts before, and they've made mistakes, so no one's perfect. So I'll just get that one out the way with. So yeah, I read this here about a mysterious force is blocking Car Key FOBs in this small Canadian town. Straight away when I read this article here, I thought that someone's got obviously a radio jammer in the car or on a backpack. They walk around pranking people, having a bit of a laugh. Probably end up on YouTube at some stage or something, practical joke. So I don't think it's anything to do with a UFO hidden in the building, but I know the story has come out on Secureteam not long ago. What does it say? For weeks, customers of a grocery store in a small town of Carstalls, Alberta, has been plagued by mysterious something that has hindered them from driving their cars. So CBS News reports that several people who have used the parking lot of the town Westview Co-op have reported their key fobs stopped working on their cars and won't start. So straight away, it's got that paranormal feel to it, or the UFO EMF field. But rational speaking, or they might be saying it might be something to do with the Earth's magnetic field underneath. But we're talking about electromagnetic radiation in form of radio waves. And we know even at home here, when you've got Wi-Fi, if you run a microwave in between you and the router, you'll find you'll get dropouts, especially if you're on one of the older systems now, like a wireless G or B or A or whatever. But the newer systems are using 2 bands, which are a wee bit harder to knock down, but it will slow you down still. So I'll just post this one here, the story here, if you want to read about it. But I'll just read a bit more of it in a minute. Key fobs not working. So no doubt we'll get an update on that. Oops. Working. W key wasn't working. And we need to get rid of that stupid message up there. Let me just change the angle of my screen a wee bit. So that's better. It's leaning back a wee bit too much. Let's see, what do people say? The issue has become such a problem in the town that Westview is seeking federal assistance. So all they probably need to do is look on their security cameras and see if there's someone sitting in a car that looks a bit suspicious with a sort of like an antenna on top of the roof, or someone walking around with a backpack. It'll probably be busted that way, probably. I'm not too sure if you can interfere with key fobs using ham radio. Maybe you could modify it to transmit signal that's close to the business. But yeah, someone will triangulate the signal if it's being blocked anyway, jammed. The Ministry of Innovation, Science and Economic Development, that's a mouthful, not respond to Gizmodo. So no one wants to talk about it. Have anyone said? No one's posted what they think. A Canadian news outlet spoke to Laura Straight, who works at a dollar store across the street from the grocery. Straight has recently sold batteries to several people who came to her trying to fix their key fobs before realizing a new battery doesn't fix the issue. So there it tells you it's not a power drain. So it can't be paranormal, because that's normally what happens with the batteries of the power drain. So that bit of news can be closed down now. Right, we've got this one. So the bit. Yeah, I'll just talk about that. So this bit of news here came out too, which Secureteam also talked about. This empty trash bag is orbiting Earth in a very strange way. So they're talking about space debris, and here's like an emanation of all the space debris. The further out you get, there's less of it, but you can see it has a certain ring there where a lot of it's collecting again, and some go in this direction. But you can see around Earth itself, it's almost like a white dot, because there's tens of thousands of space junk out there. And that could be anything from a screw head to rocket boosters or rocket tanks, fuel tanks, which we've seen in the past on previous UFO reports talking about these spheres or balls dropping from the sky, which are left over from rocket stages, and they float around in space, and some obviously lose orbit and head towards Earth and enter the atmosphere, break up, and the spheres are designed to withstand a lot of heat and pressure, because the sphere is ideal for the pressure, of course. That's why we use the spheres. They use them for fuel tanks. It's like the perfect Mother Nature object. So that comes tumbling down, hits the ground, probably has carbon fiber and various heat shielding on it, so it can withstand coming down. And of course, it's aerodynamic as well, so it's going to have less friction. So it's probably only going to have a burn point on one side of it, if anything. But yeah, so basically, what they're saying is unusual satellite is trekking around the planet in a almost absurd ellipse, dipping as close as 372 miles from the surface, and then swinging out to the distance of 34,000 miles. So a factor of 1,000 there, and 1.4 times the average distance of Earth to Moon. So and what they're saying there is that it's coming almost from the moon, going around and rotating back and forth. Of course, that sort of brings to mind Apollo mission rocket launches and all that sort of stuff. But they reckon it's probably just going to be a piece of like a very thin piece of aluminium, where the solar wind hits it and has pushed it further out into orbit, which kind of makes sense. So I'll just zoom into that so you can see. And let's say mysterious object shaped like a trash bag or whatever. So can close that news item down. So Reddit have got a thing on it already. Astronomers spot mysterious long trash bag, and of course they've got a radar, well, radio scope tracking objects, and they see a small thing that's not reflecting much signal back going across the screen. So the video's there on that site there. I'll just post that too. A little video, if you can actually see it, but it sort of moves here and it's very faint. Space trash mystery. Probably haven't got all the letters. Now, I know they have been collecting trash with experimental a robot spaceship, I think it was, so like a little satellite that goes out there, collects it, and then somehow they fire it off to the Earth's atmosphere so it burns up. And they were collecting it 300 kilometers out, so yeah, 300 kilometers doesn't sound that bit crazy, you know, but 300,000 kilometers does sound a bit crazy. But then we did have China just go to the moon recently, so who knows what's been broken off spaceships. So yeah, and they've given it a funny name as well. Scientists dubbed it A10BMLZ. Why can't I just give it a proper name, you know, like trash bag 10,000 or something, you know, or space debris, and give it a year number, you know, and space debris and year number dash and how many. So space debris 2019-1, you know. And so they've got to create these random numbers. So people got, average person's got to try and figure out, Google it to find out what it means. So that means large enough to be spotted but very light. So what they're saying here, empty trash bag means it's very large enough to be spotted but very light, so the solar wind can knock it around. Scientists at London Observatory calculated that A10B blah, is several meters in width but weighs less than 2.2 pounds, 1 kilogram. More likely, they wrote on the Observatory Facebook page. Hey, Ben, how's it going? Facebook page, the object's a bit of metallic fall flung into space during a rocket launch, which sounds perfectly reasonable. And I think here, Earth is in full orbit about 500,000. I think I said 10,000, but 10,000 is closer to the orbit of Earth. But they're saying total is 500,000 pieces of debris circulate around the planet. According to NASA, about 55,000 of the largest of those are tracked by Space Agency. Department of Defense, between 200 and 400 pieces of space debris re-enter the atmosphere each year. So that's probably stuff that you might see while you're walking your dog, I guess, because there's a big flash in the sky. It might not be space rocks that we're seeing. It's not like we get the bulletin board thing up on the news each day saying there's going to be some space debris coming down today, unless it's something really big like a fireball, like that Russian satellite that came over New Zealand recently. So they're saying here 2 clouds of space dust called Korlisky clouds may also be orbiting Earth. Researchers spotted last year. So yeah, they're always finding something new in space, aren't they? So what's we'll just click on that and have a look. So Vern, did you watch my stuff on Socorro? How I had a new idea about it all. I just recapped that. I don't know if you saw that recap I did. So I see UFO Proof has put up another thing on Utah UFO thing as well, trying to defend his analysis. But he's dead right in that particular case, but he's not right on other cases. So he's a bit of a hit and miss guy, you know. But I see he was getting quite a few donations there on his life too. Super chat. I can't even get super chat. And I do a lot more than what these guys do every week. So, what's wrong with Google? What they thinking? They keep aiding and betting frauds online. And we know about UFO proof's history, I've still yet to see his brain tumor. So yeah, apparently he took $2,000 from Make-A-Wish saying he was going to die, and that didn't happen. To show up in the search, all that I can find. I did a search in YouTube using UFO, and you don't know show up in the search at all. You mean I don't show up in the search? No, I'm sort of buried about 10 pages down, I think that's what you're saying there. I think it depends what keywords you use, I suppose, but not UFOs. You can't use the general terms, you never find me. So, yeah. The Earth is being haunted by a ghostly dust storm, and there may be more out there. So, space is not empty. which is kind of funny when they talk about the universe being 13.8 billion light years old, and yet they can measure it by the redshift, but they ignore all this dust that's in the universe that the light photon's going to be slowed down or absorbed into, which is going to cause the redshift. So there's sort of a lot of different theories out there that sort of debunk the idea of Big Bang and expansion of the universe concept, that there may be other ways to explain it. So yeah, that one is quite interesting too, about what they found though. First described in the 1950s, these rolling clouds of crud are hypothesized to exist in permanent orbits around 250,000 miles above our planet. So there you go. So that's quite an interesting one. When did that come out? October 2018. So we missed that bit of news to bring it to your attention. Space dust. Aren't you doing hangouts tonight? I'm just surprised to see you here. Let's see. Should be by the terms in your title, regards they are showing vids that are posted years ago. Yeah, it should really. If you got UFO in the title or UAP in the title, like I have tonight, it should show up. In fact, it should say currently Aaron. It should have like on the main page. Shouldn't have trending. It should say currently Aaron, and it should maybe have categories, science and technology or whatever. But I think they need to improve all those and put other interest topics like paranormal and UFOs and UAPs or whatever it was the new term, or alien life or whatever, they need more categories. But I'd probably call mine, when I do mine, live investigation and research or something like that, But yeah, your tags also. You put a lot of keywords in there. Really, I don't like the tags. I'd rather the tags disappear completely, and it should all be taken from your description, or your title. UFO TV isn't coming up. That used to be like the number one that used to come up. So yeah, they are for sure not giving us any exposure or little. That's right. They're not helping out little channels or people that are actually doing something. We're doing lives, so we're putting ourselves out there. A lot of work. It's a bit funny that secureteam suddenly stopped doing them. What was his excuse for not doing them now? So something went on there. I must have missed something on his second live, because I was doing a live at the time. I didn't have time to actually watch his live, but he deleted it. I know he said all sorts of things, obviously, in it that may have caught him out on another lie. But I don't know why people seem to like him. I was always a bit suspect of him, and I thought, oh well, he's probably just trying to get people's videos and put them up like he's saying he is. And then things started not adding up after I kept on watching him. Now that was years ago. I think I jumped in probably in his third year that he's been on the channel, probably not that long ago. And it was about the P67 comment having buildings on it or something on that. And he got this secret wire encrypted channel or something like that. Yeah, but never showed us what he was talking about. Encrypted email from where? Was he on IRC when he got the message, or was he on Hangouts? And even he never explains it. He just got this encrypted message just out of the blue. What he means is he got something in his Gmail account, which was also a lie. He just made up the whole story and photoshopped the buildings on the comment. So yeah, people are gullible, But he said he received it. So at the time, I thought, well, maybe he's been caught out there, and I'll just keep watching him. And progressively, it just got worse and worse and worse. And so I decided in the end that I'd start my own channel up and try and clean up some of the information that was being put out there. Really, it was UFO proof that got me started, because he was debunking stuff that I wasn't agreeing with. So I thought, well, at least I'm going to put my opinion out there and show people the tools I use and whatnot to analyze stuff. But yeah, a lot of UFO stuff comes down to common sense, So yeah, it would be nice if they did it. They choose channels that professional. Well, they choose channels that make them lots of money, I think. So they say they're going to target conspiracy channels in that last bulletin out to the press, flat earth and all that. But I haven't seen anything come up yet, or people being punished yet. How hard can it be to take down a channel? First of all, you remove any money they make. Simple as that. See if they go away. Because money is really the incentive for flat earthers, from what I can see, because often they have comments disabled, and they're able to do some really clever twisting of facts and science, and change perspective of camera views in a tricky way that makes it look like it's flat. But yes, be interesting days ahead this year to see how it's going to pad out. But so far, my channel's up to about 220,000 minutes watch time, and you're meant to get 240,000 watch time per year. I'm not sure if it's related to lifetime, but that my lifetime's only coming up to that. So yeah, you need a lot of people watching to help you out, really. And when you do lives, if they don't join you from the beginning, they're not going to watch the whole live with you and interact with you. They might just skim it and watch bits of it offline, because watching 2 or 3 or 4 or even 6 hour debunks, or even longer, a lot of people don't have time for. But I guess there might be 1 or 2 bored people out there that are interested to see all the different topics. But there's just so much to cover, and it's all interesting. So why stop doing your live stream because it's got too long? You might just keep on talking until you're sort of burnt out or tired, or the sun's coming up, which is generally what happens with my channel. I don't know, I just find the UFO topic very interesting. That's the main reason I do it. Yeah, censorship never works. No, but certainly stopping money works, doesn't it? People won't spend the time if they're not going to make any money from it. Unlike us who do it regardless of money, as long as we got some other alternative income to pay for it, of course. Yeah, it should be done where it's not censored. I've always said that they should have like some sort of counter system there, and click here to find out the truth about the false claims in this video. So if it pops up, if someone puts in a report, say like UFO interest or myself, it should be like reported as what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word they use? False information, or I can't think of the word, but and then just have a link to an explanation that's been approved by obviously the administration, even if it's like a clip from a live or whatever. I suppose they could do that. Just click here for the full video. Here's a clip of the bit in question. There's all sorts of ways they could do it without censorship, but again, then it gives it back to the people to decide whether they want to keep watching that channel or not, or support it. Where'd it go over there? Well, income is the tricky one. It should be like a non-profit, really. The money should go to run the channel, and then the money in the channel should be maybe pay the person a salary, maybe if it's that big, and then the money can be used to give back to the people that funded it, but like a big organization way. So you could do fun things, like you could organize people around the world to get together in Nevada, say. So they fly them all out using the money from the channel, get a UFO bus thing together, and just do that event once a year or something, and just go out to the desert and start filming and sending it up to the web. It could be a lot of fun. And if you're earning that much from the donation and stuff, it could be paying for that, people's hotels and the top of the line equipment. It shouldn't be paying someone a mansion like Secureteam. It should be paying off his house, mortgage, his kids' education, all that sort of stuff. It should be really paying into the UFO topic itself. Now, MUFON was meant to be doing something like that, but it seems that a leak letter come out saying that a few people are sort of taking advantage of the perks, so to speak, getting paid a salary out of it when no one else is, like the workers. So that was a bit of a hoo-ha on that one. That was talked about a couple of lives back. So should be defined really for what it is, and not for being real, but being extreme religious ideology. Yeah, probably. Well, a lot of the UFO stuff is culty, though, isn't it? The fans that follow Secureteam, he talks about making his troll army to attack any naysayers or truthers or whatever out there. That this kind of has that feel of Scientology, even, a cult. Hey, One Life Man, how's it going? Do you know any dark web? No, I don't use it myself. I know about it because I explained it on the last live. Yeah, it's a bit hard not to do it daily as well. You can't do it daily because you get burnt out. Even doing 3 days a week, I'm tired. But really, yeah, the money should really go to the channel, and a salary should be paid out on it because it's your time. You're putting in the time. How you decide that salary, I don't know. But then you can hire other people. You see, other people to run it. So what is this? What's his name? Keep forgetting it. Trudy Pie. Or PewDiePie. What's he do with all his money? Didn't he earn 1 year 60 million US dollars? That's an insane amount of money. And he's still pushing for merchandise and all sorts of stuff where he's making profit from it. How much money does people need? Just crazy. If you want to find dark web, you just have to download the Tor browser. Just Google Tor browser and then download it, and that gives you access into the dark web. Don't know why you want to get access to it though, but people use it as a way to safeguard their websites, so they can connect their website through the dark web, but you have to use the Tor browser to access it, and it can't be taken down because it's bouncing around from person to person that opts to share their part of their internet and IP address. So it's hiding in plain sight, really. All the IP addresses it probably passes through if you tracked it, or if the government tried to track it through exit nodes, as they call it, because that eventually the last IP address has to come out at a server somewhere, or what they call an exit node. But yeah, it was invented by the government in the first place to be able to connect their overseas spies to the internet, and they couldn't be blocked or tracked, and they could send information across the FBI or CIA. But if you want to find the addresses that's hidden out there, you can't. You can't just simply bring up Google and say search for all porn sites that's on the dark web, because it won't work. You'd have to find them listed in like the blogs or forums saying this is a new site. There are some listed in the wiki pages for Facebook, Pirate Bay, Google, I think has even a dark web thing there. But if they take down google.com, say, if the government took out google.com, they could exist still on the Tor network in the dark web. So it makes it bulletproof. And no, I don't think they sell aliens on the dark web. But you can bet that maybe the government uses it for communication. Plus, they would probably use a VPN themselves on top of it, which gives it even more security, and they probably would be encrypting it as well. Although the VPN would be encrypting it once it goes onto the Tor network, it would become unencrypted. So they'd have to encrypt it with their own sort of bulletproof SIP system or whatever they use, and then transmit it over it. If I made 60 million, would do UFO hunts in New Zealand. Yeah, you probably could do a different country each year or something. You never know. But yeah, it'd be a good way to be like a fun holiday thing, and you could turn it into a TV series, and you'd be like a multi-million anyway. And you could write it off as tax write-off, couldn't you? You could use it as a I don't know, publicity. I don't know how all the tax works. That's what all those big billionaires are good at. Helicopter. I'm not sure. Didn't that billionaire Chinese guy just crashed at a football stadium not long ago. Helicopters are more prone to crash, aren't they? But those new air taxis look like a good thing. Maybe get a Google air taxi car for yourself. And well, obviously you're not going to call it a taxi, but yeah, that might be a lot of fun. So yeah, where did we get to? I think I shared that one. Hey, we got 4 watching. Where did that all happen? I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, so this trash in space made it to Reddit here. I'll just post a link to that. That's probably where Secureteam got his story from. Trash space. I remember there was a TV series of like a comedy type thing back in my day, and there was a ship that went around and sort of collected all the space trash that humans left out in space. Can't remember what it was called, but I remember it was quite funny, some of it. But I haven't seen it. You know how stuff always gets pirated, especially sci-fi. Is that one I never ever seen, which is kind of strange. So what did they say? So they reckon it's a body panel from Apollo 13 explosion. That was what I was thinking as well, but I can't remember if the accident happened after the burst towards the moon. Translunar injection happened 2 days before the LO2 tank exploded. But I think someone up here said it can't be. Doubtful. The point of calling it trash bag is that its sun's radiation can push it into chaotic orbits. So it probably pushed it out to those distances. That kind of makes sense. So it's probably going to be something from SpaceX. So IS, the International Space Station, orbits around 300 kilometers, I think it is. So there's a lot of transport back and forth from the station. Whether they lose any stuff, I don't know. I suppose they've got to transport all this rubbish back into the capsule, back down to Earth, or somehow fire it towards the atmosphere and burn it up. That's quite an interesting concept. Something to look at, see how they deal with their trash, because I don't think anyone's ever asked them how they deal with their trash. I know, don't they eject pee into space and it turns into this frosty ice vapor trail as it flies past? Because I was talking about that in one of my episodes I did. Had some pictures of it, sort of makes this ghostly trail after it. And I guess eventually it falls towards Earth and enters the atmosphere, and you have human waste coming down. Or urine. What's in urine? Ammonia. So enough on that story, at least. Keep on moving. Placed it there so you can have a read of it. Same here. What's that? Telescopes are cool, but big ones are a pain in the ass. Yeah, I think John, when he was on the side chat, was saying that they can cost as much as a car, which is crazy expensive. But I guess doing those mirrors on them is a complicated process to get it perfectly flawless. Now, my mate bought one of these laser scopes for a gun made in China. And when he got it, it was so badly made that you couldn't calibrate it. So once you sighted it and fired the gun, it would be out of calibration again. And in the end, he opened it up to find that it had a loose screw. So he timed it down, and it was much better. But he said still, it had two batteries instead of just running the power off. Can't remember what the two batteries were. One was probably to run the infrared scope on it, and the other one was to use the laser beam. So you fire a beam out, and then you see it in the scope. And it used two batteries instead of just using one battery, which sounds crazy. Crazy having two batteries in it because it's more weight, you see. And if you go out hunting. So yeah, Chinese are good at copying things, but they're not really good at making things better, I find. I bought this air conditioner that you can hook up to the window. Well, you put a pipe out to the window, but they said you had to plumb the water that come out of it, which was crazy. Instead of just evaporating it back into the fumes, hot air going out, which is very hot when you're using it in econ mode. It could they could easily spray it and evaporate it in the same tube and push it out the window. But no, you had to put this little, the tray would fill up and you would have to empty it. So what I did is I had to modify it myself. I sort of got a hold of a car water pump, old water pump, hooked it up to a 12-volt adapter, and I got one of those remote control radio things from China, which only costs about $20, and you can turn it off and on with a press of a button. And every so often I'll just click it when it was going to get full, and it just pumped it out. So I had to do all the modifications myself, which was a pain. But like I said, the Chinese, it was quite expensive. It was like $800 New Zealand for this thing. It was like 3 kilowatts of cooling as well as heating, and it weighs a ton. Probably easy 60 kilograms, probably, which is quite heavy. And when you get water in it, it's obviously more heavier. It's got a little tray inside where it holds the water, where you pump it back out. But anyway, that's a long story, another story. I think it was night vision rather than infrared. I think they used slightly different filters so they see longer ranges. So you get the sort of like the green screen on it. Not too sure how it all works myself, but the mate knows all about it. He's mucked around modifying cameras with a piece of film, and he says you can see then through plastic and stuff, which is crazy. But when you think about it, it's electromagnetic radiation, and of course there's big gaps in atoms, so the heat simply just either hits some of the atoms and absorb, and the rest of it passes through. So you can actually see inside your laptop, say, with a $30 camera by just simply modifying it. So back to secureteam. What else have I got here? What I was going to cover. Oop, that one's not loaded. So I think John's fallen asleep again. He's been not sleeping, and he's been up all night. So he hasn't put his alarm on, so he hasn't woken up. So he normally would join me in side chats on Discord. So, we're talking about Bitchute last time too. So I was trying to figure out how it works, whether they have some like a script running in the background that sort of helps seed it out. But here it says using Brave. Well, I tried to use it on Brave and it didn't work, but sounds like the Bitchute uses WebTorrent to stream videos. Videos can be streamed from any device seeded with Bitchute as a pair of last resorts. Videos can be downloaded and seeded in the following ways: using Brave browser, how to WebTorrent desktop client. So it wasn't built into the code, which I find is a bit silly, because people won't bother seeding back the stuff they're watching. Really, it should be, as they're watching it, they're seeding out as well. as part of the give back system. And they need to do a lot of improvements on their system because it was meant to be automatically uploading videos, and it certainly hasn't uploaded any of my lives that I've done since I joined. So yeah, the system is a bit useless, but at the moment I've got some secure team stuff up on there and a sample live I did. So it might just give me some more traffic back to YouTube, if anything, but can't see it being around too long if they don't do some major improvements to it. So it's quite a strange system. Hey, Chubby D, how's it going? What's the time here? 10 p.m. at night. So what's it in California? It must be about midnight over there, is it? Oh no, 1 in the morning. Yeah, Nikon cameras are pretty damn good. Expensive though. So there was a thing also they put out here on their own system. Let's see if it loads this time. But I see someone's uploading secure team stuff there under a strange name now. I can't remember what it was now. Maybe I can search for it. But you can see here, it doesn't seem to be doing much for some reason. Maybe my Google Live is interfering with it. Of course, they're not anti-competitor in any shape or form. That's not what I'm suggesting. So look, it's not loading, and that's just on the page. So they need to do some major stuff, testing on it. Now look, refresh loads. So how to see Bitchute videos from a desktop client. So they've got a video out here. It's got only 1,500 people watched it. So yeah, I don't think many people are going to be seeding their videos by going by that stat. I know certain big channels have got like 10,000 followers. So I'll just post that one there. So if anyone wants to be interested in Bitchute, but I think it's a good place to at least, like I said, promote your YouTube channel on. Now, should be able to find me. I'll do that in a minute. See if we can find me because I'm not logged in on it here. Bitchute, Seedon. So at the moment, I'm still going through recaps rather than looking at fresh material. So let's search for secureteam. See if I come up in it now. Got my leaker one up there, and the live I did where he owes me $1 million. Alright, so I'm there now. There you go, look. I'm on the top. So that's pretty cool. So it might be getting some recognition there if people search for secureteam. But you can see here only 13 have watched that one so far. 28, 17. So we got a long way to go. Let's see if I can find that person that's promoting them. Here we go. Is that one of them? Bob this secureteam shirts. So looks like several people are promoting it. Looks like we got 3 copies of Bob this interview. What else we got? It showed up more the other time when I was looking. I think it was this one here, this guy, mostly promoting secureteam 10, Beyond the Ice Age. Beyond the Ice Age, there we go, another one. Didn't they expect this to happen? So I'm not sure if it's part of what's maybe Tyler has paid someone to do that part of it. See another one here with the space debris from one of the rovers that they're saying is UFO. Secureteam rubbish again. That one there. Our moon is being surrounded. So you can see it just goes on and on and on. So does it actually tell us? Right, finally stopped. So how many were there? There's probably quite a few there. 30, maybe 40. So that might be since he did that video about YouTube changing the rules on conspiracy sites. So let's see, when was, can we see what date they were uploaded? October last year, mostly by the looks of it. But yeah, I don't think it plays my videos very well. I don't think it's uploaded my last stream. I uploaded these manually, so the most popular one seems to be the Tesla one. I did 41 views. So yeah, I started that not long ago. 29th, I've uploaded it. So yeah, it's worth putting some stuff up there on that channel, Vern, if you want to get some more recognition. So yeah, I'll paste my link there again so people can have a look if they want to. I should really put it on some other ones as well, probably. But the thing is, anyone can download it, right? So that means they get to keep it. Oop, is that right? Probably Google might ban it, I thought, being a competitor. Vern, Paranormal Hunter. I put naked UFO hunts. No, you just need a hot blonde chick next to your side, and that sort of helps. Look, Richard Dolan's has got a nice looking wife. That's true. Cameras are always about the lens. So, mosey on. Is that you, Vern, or is that someone using your name? Vern Paranormal Hunter. Oh, you've got to change your other channel, is it? What do you have? You had Vern Truth Network, and you had is you. You got a few channels in here. You got 3, is it? Maybe YouTube doesn't like that. I don't know. Especially if it's all the same topic, I guess. I suppose if you had one for UFOs, one for paranormal, I don't see what the problem would be because they're different subjects. So, yeah, everybody in the age of 40 plus think his wife's very hot looking, Richard Dolan. But I've sort of lost my interest in Richard Dolan because he was saying on one of his presentations that David Icke may be correct about shapeshifters on the planet without any proof of such a thing, you know. From what I understand from abduction cases, shapeshifting wasn't one of them, but human hybrids is one that's reported, which probably look more human, but maybe have black eyes and they wear sunglasses. It's like that cool movie. What's it called? Them, sci-fi. Them, is it? Where he gets a pair of these sunglasses and then he can start reading billboards that say other things, like a subliminal programming. It's quite a good old classic sci-fi movie. So we'll just close that one down. I was going to talk also about Secure Team's latest ones. Was it Secureteam? I think it was just 2 random ones, actually. Let's see. A couple of random ones that's going viral on Facebook. This one here, it's got Brando's been on about, so I decided to do some analysis on it myself and found a frame to enhance. But you can see here, it looks a bit biscuity. It's up and down, but clearly you can see there's some sort of plane or blimp. But if you bring that bit down a bit, and if you turn the angle of the blimp here slightly towards us, that you wouldn't see the end bit here on the tail. So it sort of would match up. I didn't spend too much time. It was like 4 a.m. in the morning when I did it. But yeah, I took it from a frame. But that shows how roll and shutter works. He's got it portrait when he's filming instead of landscape, and it goes. It makes scan lines coming down this way on the sensor in blocks. Of course, I sort of drew it. I didn't sort of measure it exactly. I sort of pointed out where the chunks were roughly. That one's probably over here a bit more. You can see where it sort of got cut. But yeah, up and down 4 chunks there on shows the roll and shutter effect, which is the same as what I got with the moon one. When I had it landscape, it was going left and right. Just takes a wee bit of wobble when you sort of zoom in, and amplifies it on really cheap smartphone. So I'll just close that one down. I don't think Secureteam has done that one yet. He may do. Ving, what are you changing your things for as a brand channel? Then internet is the one that's brand account. What is the brand account? You can put other people's advertisements on it. I didn't look into brands. I saw the word listed there on YouTube. I wasn't sure what it meant. I thought it might be something to do with monetization or something. So this is another one that made Fox News, apparently. Let's see, up here, Fox News. Got something like 100,000 views, would you believe, on Facebook when someone put it up there. But you can see here, very faint white line coming down. So yeah, I made up this funny one. What UAPs now fishing? See, what sort of rubbish does Fox News put up, on UFOs? They're not helping us, and we sort of amplified it a wee bit here, where you can see the sun reflecting off, obviously, fishing line, and it sort of makes these little bursts of light every so often. But it just shows you how hard it is to see fishing line on a video, let alone a photograph, unless light glitters of it. But here you can see it's definitely got a shape of one of those letter balloons. Looks like it's got a bit here that's sticking out this way, but it kind of looks like it might be the letter A to me, or possibly the letter O. Would be another close match there, maybe. But unless you get to see a video with it moving around. But obviously, I'm not sure if it had a video of it or not. Talks about photographer, so it doesn't sound like it's going to be a video. It's going to be a single frame going on there. And of course, it's probably copyrighted now if it's on Fox News. So yeah, it brings me to Aaron Swartz and the comment about Google is no good for research. Should not be used for a primary research tool, which I kind of find a silly statement from someone that works in MUFON. So, as I said to him, if MUFON bothered using Google to research, they would know that Secureteam was a hoaxer and wouldn't call them awesome. Ouch! I can be bad at sometimes with my comments. Then the count is only one you can use on Hangouts, but I don't think mine's branded because I think I got a text box for branded and I can use it in Hangouts. What is the branded account? Let's sidetrack for a minute and find out. YouTube, what does branded? Is it brand or branded? Name. Who knows? Google might get rid of all of us, including myself. They didn't respond to my feedback about secureteam and the links I provided them. When you connect a YouTube channel to a brand account, your Google account is the owner manager of the brand account connected to with the YouTube channel. So it's like a mothership. It's a mother account, and the other ones are like sub accounts. Is that what it's saying? Branded. You can manage multiple channels from one Google account. This helps you have more than one YouTube channel. So that was all that nonsense with Google Plus, that you had to join Google Plus to be able to get these features, and now they're getting rid of it. So yes, Google, I think they've lost their way a bit, you know. So that's what branded me. I thought maybe it allowed you to do advertisers on there, put your own advertisements on there, like you could sell someone local in your area. Say, I can put you up on my YouTube channel for $100 a month, which is a good idea, you know, and you can put it in your video. But I think you got to actually tick a few boxes, if I remember right, saying you're doing that, as you can be have your account disabled. But I just read on lives that if you go to like a sports live stream, even for a few seconds, it will disable the live, which probably makes sense because it's copyright material. But also, if you go get an advertisement and a video, say if you play a video to use for a presentation and you didn't know there was an ad in it, they can then delete your video because you've shown an ad in that presentation. Yeah, so instead of deleting things and censoring things, why don't just add the tool there to auto blur that section where something no happens, you know? Why just keep doing punishment rather than just simply helping you get around being copyrighted or whatever? And of course, the editor only allows you to edit the video once, I've noticed too. So you can only edit out one chunk or blur out one person, but you can't do it again, which is sort of crazy. The online facilities is not there. Oh yeah, I noticed that it was going up with you connecting with different accounts. Thanks for doing it, I guess. So I'll come back to Aaron in a minute. So what happened to Google's effort to scan millions of university library books? Now, people were saying that you can't use Google because it hasn't got the full information. Well, this is right, it hasn't got the full information because people put blocks on them doing what they wanted to do to make all information available worldwide. Could you imagine having all the Roswell Museum documents? They got a library there scanned and available to you in any country, and you could do a keyword search or a complex keyword search using their special advanced search feature. Google is a very powerful research tool, but it's limited by this sort of stupidity where copyright impedes access to knowledge. So they're worried that if it gets scanned in, it's like peer-to-peer. People will be taking screenshots, downloading books written where the people are trying to make millions of dollars off their book. Like that book, Roswell the day after, and yeah. To me, I think stuff should be free, and probably in the future it'll probably end up being free. How people make money off that, I don't know. Is there a way to predict? You should be able to search information and show it on the screen, but you shouldn't be allowed to save it. There should be some maybe protections in place so you can't download it. At the moment, Google is pretty much open to hack tools and things where we can bypass their security, and you can disable the ads. That's another thing that I always found frustrating, that I'm quite happy with a promo ad at the front, which you can skip. You can click the skip button, but if you use ad blocker, it's gone, and that person doesn't get any money then. So it makes a big difference, how much money you can make on YouTube. So it was a crazy idea. Take the bulk of the world's books, scan them, and create a monumental digital library for all to access. That's what Google dreamed of doing. So really, Google wasn't too evil. At one stage back in 2002, it actually was trying to make it free for more people. When it embarked on this ambitious book digitalization project, it got part of the way there, digitalizing at least 25 million books before it got taken to court from major universities. So that's the sort of thing that happened with Aaron Swartz with MIT. But we'll get onto that in a minute. But promise the library of everything has to come into being. So the thing with university libraries, they have research papers. So so if they're researching like laser technology for the military department, that would come up in the searches. But obviously that sort of caused a bit of problem for people. But promised library of everything has come into being, hasn't come into being. Epic legal battle between authors and publishers. So it always boils down to money. I wish sometimes society didn't have to run on money, and somehow, I don't know what the solution would be, but really everything's sort of controlled in a sense around money. So if you're doing 25 million books, how long would that take? And if you had a single person doing it, probably take a person most of the day to scan in one book, and then they've got to sort of have someone that actually does OCR on the page, so they would have the original graphic, so people can see it was taken from a real book, like an ancient book, hundreds of years old, and then have the page next to it that's OC, optically character recognition. That allows it to then to be able to be searched because it's in regular font, you say, rather than a graphic. So that got killed, fortunately. But could you imagine if the US government released all its classified information without the black stuff? Someone scanned it in, then anyone worldwide would be able to scan for references about UFOs and stuff, cover-ups. It might happen one day. Even Russia, you could scan in all their books and libraries and convert it into English. Just be amazing. So that brings us to Aaron. What was the other person that got in trouble for doing that? But well-known coder and activist Aaron Swartz was arrested Tuesday, charged with violating federal hacking laws for downloading millions of academic articles from a subscription base. Now, the key there is subscription. service from that MIT had given him access via a guest account. So normally people have to pay a monthly fee to access the download service, and he was given a guest one for some reason. I'm not too sure why. Maybe it'll be in the text somewhere, but there's a great movie about him, about his life story. But the guy got hounded by the FBI and was going to be given like 35 years in prison and $1 million fine. And he was found hanging on his balcony at the age of 26. This guy did some amazing stuff. So you can see here that they've got quite a lot of stories on him. How many pages was that? 178,000 of those terms. So, but it hardly made a blimp. Really, it didn't really change anything. So I think MIT allowed you a certain amount of free downloads on your student account, but they were charging for a few other downloads. I think it said it on the documentary. I can't remember exactly now. So what this guy was doing, he had found a closet, like how you got a cable closet where they put UTP cables to be able to connect to various room to room using like telephone wiring in the wall. So he found a closet and he hooked up his computer in there to write a script that sort of downloaded the documents using his guest account, and he was actually making them available via another website, which obviously broke their terms, and they were upset because they couldn't charge, because he was giving it free to the students and they couldn't charge for their downloads anymore. They were making less money. So yeah, they saw it as like theft, but he didn't really hack. He was just using what they gave him, and he just stuck it in the closet, so he didn't have to be there all day long, and just had it sitting in the closet downloading all the files, and then he'd come back and then take it away and then process it or whatever. So I'll just post a link there about him. Some good documentaries on him and what he actually did. So he's a programmer, entrepreneur, political organizer, and internet hacktivist. So he's sort of comes under the umbrella of .com, Kim.com, similar, and Julian Assange was a hacktivist, I guess, and now runs WikiLeaks. Now he's in trouble, but he's meant to be sick and dying. I think he might have kidney problem or something. I'll just post that one there. Did I copy it already? So you might wonder, what's this got to do with UFOs? Not really anything to do with UFOs, but he may have found something. Who knows? But the story goes on the documentary. Well, the theory is that what Aaron wanted to do is download all the research papers for global climate, or climate change, I should say, global warming, whatever it was called back then, and the government wasn't going to let that happen because what he wanted to find out, who was funding the research in the university, and he noticed there was a group of politicians and BP, or petroleum companies, funding the research, which was kind of odd. So yeah, so did he really hang himself, or was it one of these other suspicious murders? So 35 years if he's 26. I don't think, I suppose that's would drive you insane after a while, probably. But he'd still be alive when he got out, probably. But his whole life would be taken away from him just for downloading stuff with a free account. So someone actually said here the truth about Aaron Swartz. which is quite a lot of reading. Then you're saying a lot here. Either have no money and a bit of time. That's before Google owned them. Murdered. You reckon he was murdered? Same age as Snowden. Yeah. It's hard to know. There was another hacker, a New Zealand hacker. I can't think what his name is now. I have talked about him on my episode, Strange Deaths of Ufologists and Scientists. It's quite a good thing I put together there. And you start to see patterns. So see if I can find it. I've talked about it before, but not everybody watches it. But it's one of my better videos or documentaries I did. I'm surprised that it got money allowed on it. Google would probably disable it. It's the old one too now. Oop, I mistyped it away. Yeah. For some reason when I hit the A key, it capitalizes my keyboard. There you go. It's got a gravestone on it. Strange deaths. So there's some strange things reported there, like scientists that were doing major breakthrough research on AIDS virus were shot dead while answering the door to collect a pizza, stuff like that. But there was like tens of these top scientists all sort of dying in a strange way, like car accidents and suicides and homosexual violence. I think was one where one murdered one and then suicided. So yeah, I sort of sum it up on that account there. I mean documentary, I should say. But what did they say here? I don't know Aaron Swartz unless you count having copies of a person's entire digital life on your forensic server as knowing him. I did once meet his father, an intelligent and dedicated man who was clearly pouring his life into defending his son. My deepest condolences go out to him and the rest of Aaron's family during what must be the hardest time of their lives. If the good that men do is oft interred with their bones, so be it. But in the meantime, I feel the responsibility to correct some of the erroneous information being posted as comments to otherwise informative discussions at Reddit, Hacker News, and Bong Bong. I never heard of that one. Apparently, some people feel the need to aggrandize by opinion on guilt of the recently departed. I wanted to take the chance to speak on behalf of this man who can no longer defend himself. I had hoped to ask Aaron to discuss these issues on the DEFCON stage once he was acquitted, but now that he has passed, it's important that his memory not be besmirched by the ignorant and uninformed. So, what's the expert witness on Aaron's side of the US vs. Swartz engaged by his attorneys? Blah, blah, blah. Should you doubt my neutrality, let me establish my bona fides. I have led the investigation of dozens of computer crimes, from libertarian hackers to blackmailing the stock brokerage Chinese, blah, blah, blah. I know a criminal background when I see it, and Aaron's downloading of journal articles from An unlocked closet is not an offence worth 35 years in jail. Amen to that. But it didn't stop him. MIT operates an extraordinary open network. Very few campus networks offer you a routable public IP address. Blah, blah, blah. Next one. In the spirit of MIT ethos, the Institute runs the open, unmonitored, and unrestricted network on purpose. So why would you want to hack it? That's what he's saying there, obviously. MIT also chooses not to prompt users of their wireless network with terms of use, unlike hundreds of pages you get with Facebook, Google, and whatnot. At the time of Aaron's actions, the JSTOR website allowed an unlimited number of downloads by anybody on MIT's 18X Class A network. The JSTOR application lacked even the most basic controls to prevent what they might consider abusive behavior, such as captures triggered on multiple downloads, requiring accounts for bulk downloads, or even the ability to pop a box and warn a repeat downloader. Aaron did not hack the JSTOR website for all reasonable definitions of hack. Aaron wrote a handful of basic Python scripts that first discovered the yellow owls of journal articles, and then used curl, which is a script language, to request them. Aaron did not use parameter tampering, breaker capture, or do anything more complicated than call a basic command line tool. Aaron did nothing to cover his tracks or hide his activity, and evidenced by this very verbose .bash history. So they got logs. The government provided no evidence that these downloads caused a negative effect on JSTOR or MIT, except due to silly overreactions such as turning off all of MIT's JSTOR access due to downloads from a pretty easily identified user agent. I cannot speak as a criminal implications of access in an unlocked closet on an open campus. Yeah, why wasn't it locked? This is a good question. One which was also used to store personal effects, really, by the homeless man. I would note that the trespassing charges were dropped against Aaron and were not part of the federal case. In short, Aaron Swartz was not the super hacker previously described in the government indictment and forensic reports. Doesn't talk about subscriptions here, though, which is kind of strange. I suppose maybe it's outside access if you're not a student, where they got the subscriptions. Or if you want to get it from outside the campus, then you have to pay. Maybe that's it, and he was making it available. Because it doesn't sort of say there, does it? But again, it's all on the movie there if you want to go and check it out. What is it called now, though? It's a good question. Should be on the wiki page, shouldn't it? I might just search for it. Should have some movies about him down at the bottom, shouldn't it? So he was like a genius, 20-something, if it sounds of it. At age 13, Swartz won a Artsdida prize given to young people who create useful, educational, collaborative, non-commercial websites. At age 14, he became a member. So what was his background? He looks a wee bit Indian there. But Swartz sounds like a German name, so German Indian. People create useful, educational. 14 became a member of a working group that offered the RSI 1 web syndicate at specification. So that was quite useful. So he helped get RSI, RSS underway, which a lot of websites now use, news companies and stuff. sort of gives an abbreviation of the news headlines, and you can just download it into apps as like a text file or XML file. So yeah, but where's the movies? There's quite a lot on it. Damages. What was the damages? I know. Demand. I thought it said damages. WikiLeaks. Worsfield, a Freedom of Information Act. Press to learn about the treatment of Celicia Manning, alleged source for WikiLeaks. So that could be another thing what FBI went after him there. So that's what they reckon about Julian Assange as well. And anything that sort of embarrassed the government they went after. And .com also is linked into all that. He reckons that he was a big donator of WikiLeaks to keep him going. Of course, the government wanted to stop his funds, so he couldn't do that anymore. And so they sent spies, FBI, to New Zealand to illegally spy, and then they got all our laws changed for America to make spying legal, and gave us the 3-strike law. So if anyone was downloading movies, they would be fined. But the whole system was set up stupid. It was rushed in overnight, so people couldn't vote on it. And they were charging. The ISPs said they wanted to charge for them to research the logs and find out the IP addresses of who the offender was for $25 New Zealand, and Hollywood wasn't willing to pay that much. And because it was a 3-strike system, so if you get a strike, you lose a strike, but like Google, you lose it after 3 months, but I think one strike might be 6 or 9 months. So you can get your reputation back to normal, but then you can get another strike, and this goes bing bong, bing bong. So people figured out they could, like a student house, if they wanted to download stuff, they simply just sign up the ISP in one person's name out of 7 that's in the house. And if they got to the second strike, if they got detected on a second strike, they simply sign over the next bill account to the next person in the list and just keep rotating it, and eventually it gets back to the first person again. And of course all their strikes are cleared off again. So yeah, people worked out stuff like that. It's quite funny, really. But this year the government decided to scrap the whole 3-strike thing in the end, so it was a total pointless exercise. And I hear now they've got like a 6-strike system in USA. Really. So fun. So I was trying to find that movie. It's a really good one. I've seen it. I think it might be on free to watch on YouTube now. I'm not sure who put it out. I think it might be Channel 4 UK did a thing on him. I probably can't show a clip of it because I'd probably get done for copyright claim. UK is terrible for copyright claims. But yeah, this wiki page just goes on. What was that one with the building? So I painted a graphic on the side of the building. What's it say there? Brooklyn graffiti. I wonder if it's still there. Speaking. Whoa, it goes on. Obviously, he made a big impression to get a wiki page that big. So, publicizations. YouTube, what's that? We Can Change the World video YouTube interview. I don't know. I don't think it was that one. I'm just trying to think what the name of it. The Boy Who Could Change the World. I think that was the one. The writings of Aaron Swartz. I think it might be that one. The New Press. So if you haven't watched them, go ahead and try and find it. It talks about the whole thing, which is quite good. His life and what he did and why he was the best thing for internet non-censorship. So all this, I wonder what he'd be doing with all this Google stuff now, you know. So that means we're going to start looking at some other UFO stuff now. I just didn't want to spend too long on that. But when you got someone from MUFON saying Google shouldn't be used as a main research tool, well, what can you do if you don't live in America, you know? And you just have to rely on people, do background checks on the people that's putting up the stuff on the web, see if they're PhDs or credible people. Yeah, I just think that's just a crazy statement. But I didn't speak out because you get banned. So I speak out on live instead. But if they watch it, they'll probably ban me. But I haven't said any names or anything. But yeah. Then you got Il Grey from MUFON. It was saying that New Zealand doesn't have a MUFON rep, and he's trying to get me to become a New Zealand rep from MUFON. But I don't want to do that. That wasn't my goal. My goal was I had an interest in UFOs and I want to bring the truth and expose the rubbish that's out there and analyze stuff and see if I agree with the debunkers or not, you know. And sort of in 2 years I've learnt a lot and I'm still learning. So, you know, that's another thing Google's good thing. All the good stuff I've learnt comes from Google. Once Google was about and was indexing all the websites worldwide, and you had people putting up pieces of code snippets and how do you do a YouTube channel and all that sort of stuff. That's how you learn. Google is a great teacher, but you have to know what's rubbish and what's actually valid information. And obviously, if it's a tutorial, you're going to do it. You know it's going to be fact. But with other stuff like UFO stuff, you need to find multiple channels that are saying the same thing, or that's the best you can do, you know. So just having a little rant there, anyway. So I don't think there was anything else viral videos apart from ones I showed you. So I might as well just look at UFO Stalker. So who's with me still? I see I've got 3 watching. We can, if you got Discord, if you join Discord, I can probably set it up to you, but it's a bit complex to set it up before the stream, because the browser version doesn't seem to have the same options as the app version. But I think there's this thing, a link here somewhere where I can share, where you can hook into my Discord. It's a bit like a bulletin board system where you can chat and you can just hop in like Hangouts. If you click into a certain group, it automatically connects the audio. You don't have to click the dial-up button or anything. You just jump into it and you start talking. It's quite an interesting way of doing it. Whereabouts is the share link though? See, I'm looking on the other screen for it, for the channel. It's probably here somewhere. I think it used to be a link at the top. Share. There's probably something I have to do another time, probably. Plus the font's really hard to read on the other screen. Maybe it's up on top here. Where's the invite button? I've seen it somewhere here. Friends, maybe it's there. Add friend. Send suggestion, add friend. No. How'd you invite someone then? I think I've posted it on my socials though, where people can connect, and if they got Discord account, it will connect you straight into my channel. But I got to set people up into a chat group for video. The video one is like a separate thing you have to do. It's like doing a group chat for Hangouts. But yeah, it's funny how I can't see the invite thing. It was in my face for a long time. Invite more people, invite more people. But I can't see it. But you should be able to search me out too, I think. You should be able to find me. Just type the out there channel without any spaces in. Yeah, a message will pop up probably. Not that anyone wants to talk on the side chat, do they? Well, actually, I probably could throw Hangouts on if you want. Do you want to jump on, then? You want to jump on? Anyone who want to jump on there, I could probably use Hangouts this time. The Hangouts OT group. Let me know and drag it onto the screen. So what I normally do is click on the group and hit the camera icon. If anyone's there, they can then it opens up the window, of course, the camera icon, and then I'll just drag it onto this capture screen. But MUFON would direct traffic your way. The thing about joining MUFON, you get your own cases. You get access to the full database as well. Because they say it's open to the public, but you don't, as you see here, it doesn't tell us how a case was closed or whether it's under investigation. So if you click on here, hey Renee, how's it going? So here we got no option. Like there should be like a click link to say show how it was closed. But they hide that unless you're a member. I'm not sure if members even can see it, but maybe investigators will certainly see it. So this one was a alien encounter. So if you want to chat on Hangouts, just beat me on Hangouts, and I'll go back to it. Discord as well. So what are they saying here? When did it happen? Last year. Was woken up by it. When I rolled over, it was a arm length from me. Now, what would you do if you had that happen to you? You'd probably grab a baseball bat or something, or a gun in America, and shoot it. For months, I've been having issues with being woken up at night. I have the opposite. I have trouble getting to sleep. I've been extremely tired, especially when it's hot. You can't sleep when it's really hot. I'm extremely tired and told my mum something keeps waking me up. As odd as it sounds, I prayed to see what it is and what's going on. I remember waking up to my name or something saying, wake up, wake up. That's normally stories I hear about paranormal experiences where they feel like they're being shaken and there's like a little kid's voice saying, wake up. That happened to my sister one night. Turned to my left to see a burgundy red, odd-shaped large head. So it's not an alien grey then, is it? What's burgundy? That's like a wine colour, is it? What colour is that? What does it give us a sample? Well, it looks like it's a place, is it? Or what? I don't know. Yep. Historical territory. So I need to put colour in, probably. We spell it the American or the English way? Burgundy is a dark red or purple, but where's the sample? Surely that's not it there, is it? I suppose it could be. Hair colour. Is that sample there? Hex triplet. It's got a hex code for if you're doing coding, I suppose. That must be it then. So that's a funny colour for alien head. Grand channel that way is it doesn't look like you're alone. Well, I'm pretty happy with just one channel. I find one channel's enough. But if I wanted to expand out, I suppose, or break it up, then I'd look into it. So what's it saying here? Red-shaped large head. I could only see from the nose to the top of the head. I swung my arm over to hit it on the head, saying, "Stop waking me up." I went back to sleep. So he didn't seem to be scared out of his wits. When I woke up, I was like, what the heck? Why wasn't I scared, and why did I try to hit it on the head? I had no fear or felt any danger at all, just annoyed to be woken up again. I probably would have hit it on the head too. I normally tell them to bugger off. Paranormal ghosts events when it happens. 2 months passed, and my 9-year-old grandson came running downstairs to the kitchen. Mum. It's funny how this descriptive person, how this person is writing it like it's in a story, Mum. It's not how you sort of describe things to people, is it? Trying to get the words out. I said, "Honey, what's wrong?" I could see the fear on his face. He said, I see. It was red and small and had 3 fingers. It almost sounds like this is out of a book or a script. Fingers on its hand with long, scary nails. When he turned and walked away, he said, "Just because it's red doesn't mean it's bad." As much as I wanted to ask him, so really this sounds more like a paranormal thing. So where's the bit about UFOs in it? Well, it sounds like a made-up story, of course. I stopped because I didn't want to scare him. I don't recall if it was a few days later. I told him I seen it also. He said, "What was that and why did we see it?" I told him I don't know what it was and I don't know why no one else seen it. I told him, "Don't be scared. I don't think it's here to hurt us." Months passed and my grandson and I were at house. He came into the kitchen and said, "Are we crazy, Mum?" I said, "Why would you ask that?" He whispered, "What we seen at your house." I said, "Go into the living room and draw a photo of what photo? Draw a photo? Draw a picture, surely, of what you seen, and also do it in the kitchen and we'll compare." My daughter looked at me like, "What are you doing?" When we compared the photos, drawings. So, a bit confusing this. Is it like a robot that makes up fake stories and submits it to MUFON every so often or something? I was shocked. He doesn't draw very well, even though they said draw there. His body description, I drew the photo. He said, "Yes, that's Mum." I showed the daughter and said it was this picture. So now they're using the word picture. And so where's the picture? Have they uploaded it? No. I'd put that into possibly a fake story. What do you think on that one, Vern? Oh, that's right. If you don't want to come on, anyone can come on if they want to. But really, I want to use Discord because we don't know if I make it open to anyone. I want to be able to control with banning or ejecting, and Discord has that. And the way I do it with Hangouts doesn't have that, so it makes it a bit more complicated, So neighbors fake. Funky neighbors thinks it's fake. Yeah, I think it's fake too, that one. But it would be good to see if the phone number and address was there, because a lot of these things get submitted to MUFON apparently, and the phone number's incorrect or the address doesn't exist. or it goes to an empty lot or paddock or something like that. So let's have a quick look, see what else is around here. So the alien heads, abduction stories. So as you see, they sort of, is that the same one? Up the top here. Yeah, that's the one I was working up. Here's one up here, a couple of ones up here near, where's that? Milwaukee. How do you say that word? Chicago. Oh, where they gone? One up here. Alien stories. Well, let's have a look, see if it looks like another fake one. He's still here. Well, it doesn't look promising so far, does it? And description. He came on the plane and never left. So there's another fake one, wasting Refon's time. I suppose if I go back, I've lost my place in the thing. Yep. See how that sort of doesn't remember when you go back? That's really annoying. Loses the zoom level and everything. So there's no one further down here. I bet that's another stupid one. Repeated abductions. Okay. So, what's that about penthouse? Forget. I don't want to know. Right. Description. I am lifelong abductee. Assuming. From the age of 5 to present, I am 58 years old. Never been regressed, but remember many details, including bring down a movie, other than much more. Other than, what's that mean? Including bring showing a movie. Foreign language. So weird. That's, I don't know what the type of people they have up there, but is it English their first language up that way? So again, we haven't got much of a story on that one. So that one could be legit. You think it was rubbish? That last story. What they could do is make a photo. Well, you mean a picture. Well, for the factors, I don't think I've ever heard an alien being red in color. That's like saying orange man bad, red man bad. It's normally grey man is bad. So we've got a lot of triangles ones here. I think we've gone through most of those though. I bet if I zoom in, I'll probably lose them. Yeah, there's another one. Just popped up. Sword, giant, triangle, no photograph. Really want one that's got photographs because they're more interesting. And you can then sort of debunk them. There we go. Rectangle. I need a drink here. I don't know how you talk for 8 hours straight then. After about 2, my throat starts going. I've sort of done 8 once, didn't I? But I was really knackered after. I don't know how anyone could do 6 or 8 hours straight all the time. Sticker team. We haven't got Mark White here, have we? Sticker team goes to make such convincing fakery. I think it's more no sticker team, because Mark's waited for how many years now? 3 years to get his sticker for being a patron. So what have we got here? Rectangle shaped object, slow moving, constant altitude. Okay. Boy, I bet these videos are going to be big, are they? You see, everyone films in portrait. That is annoying. You only film in portrait if you want to get a tall building or something in the photograph, and you can't get the right distance. Because really, you want the details horizontally. You want more pixels horizontally when you zoom in on a UFO rather than more downwards as well. But I think the way the camera scans, you saw it with that one I showed you before with the rolling shutter lines you get. It's more likely to corrupt up and down, so it sort of distorts what the image is as well. Well, if it's long ways, it's probably going to be corrupted left and right direction rather than up and down direction. But you got more pixels to deal with, where you can sort of probably overlay and straighten it all out. So let's download it anyway. First one. 10 seconds? Why would you record for 10 seconds? 14 seconds, that one. Why is it downloading 2 of them? Did I already start it? 2 minutes? No? That's strange. So we got 2 minutes. That's not too bad. Why doesn't it clear it? So we have to wait a wee while. So we could look at these other ones maybe. But this description is like a page long. So I left work in my car for lunch, travelling east, looked to my left and spotted a dark triangle-shaped object in the sky that appeared motionless. I slowed my vehicle to observe the object, and the vehicle behind had to slow as well. Continued east for 0.9 of a mile. So it's pretty precise there. You normally round it up to 1 mile or something like that. Continuing to keep an eye on the object, I pulled over into Mammy's Kitchen Breakfast. Well, we don't have that in New Zealand. Parked the car, locked, and exited my car to take a video. I recorded the object for 1 minute and 28 seconds. During the recording, it passed behind a tree very close to me, approximately 60 feet north of my location. At this time, I moved west approximately 10 feet to get a better view. Pretty detailed here. The object really slowly moved at the same altitude, heading northwest, and then passed behind some sort of cellular tower at the point. Roughly 1 minute and 20 seconds into the recording, you will notice at the top of the video an airplane making its approach to Atlanta Jackson Hartsfield Airport. Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? This area is known for regular approaches into Atlanta Airport. Once it passed behind the tower, I stopped the video and began a second video that lasted 10 seconds, in which the object was beginning to get smaller as it moved further away from my location. As it began to move behind the tree, it was an adjacent parking lot from the north. I stopped the video and waited for it to appear on the opposite side, in which I recorded the third and last video, which lasted 15 seconds, showing the object moving even further away. So these ones are going to be very hard to see anything in it, especially since it's portrait. During all 3 videos, the object appeared to be moving at a constant speed. So nothing about accelerating upwards, ridiculous speeds, or suddenly turning left and right angles or whatever. So what could it be? Frame by frame, there appears to be moments when the object emits light, unless it's like autofocus of the video. Now the object also appears to either rotated or part of the exterior is almost fluid. So if it's rotating, could be a balloon, unless he's talking about just the middle part is rotated, fluid, like especially around the top. So he's saying the top is rotating. My first reaction was a banner being flown, by aircraft, but I couldn't find the aircraft. So is it rectangular or is it a triangle? Because it was listed as a triangle. It says rectangle there, but I thought it had a black triangle on the software. Oh well, maybe I was mistaken. We'll find out when I go back. I would be completely certain it was a known object, and just as satisfied as it could be not proven as a known object. So there we go. It's downloaded now. And there it is. Oh, it's on the wrong screen. I have to drag it across. And it's terrible sound. It's what I found on a windy night when I was doing my Red Moon one, was that it was terrible wind sound. So do we need to have sound? I suppose we could play it. It should come out. I'm not sure if the volume's going to be right though. Let's see. I'll watch the meter. Why can't I hear it? Oh, it's loud. Let me just adjust it. So it's too loud on the channel. You can see it's really windy. Oh yeah, I can see something there. Could it be a blimp? Certainly moving the right speed for a blimp. Third phase, what kind of nonsense have those two been doing? I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to them anymore. Sometimes I just look, but they normally do compilation of old rubbish, don't they, at the moment? But they still seem to get like 28,000 views on it. I suppose if they recycle old stuff, a lot of people join a channel and don't bother looking at the old videos. So, yeah. So if that was a UFO in the sky, you'd think a lot of people would be filming it, right? So, yeah, it's got to be something man-made, doesn't it? Obviously, it looks fairly big. You can see how many pixels we're going to be dealing with here, so we're not going to get much joy from it. But he zooms in here on digital zoom by the looks of it. Let's see. I think it's digital zoom, which reduces quality. I don't know, maybe he doesn't zoom. Oh yeah, he's really got it zoomed in, yeah, okay. Still looks pretty good, but yeah. Let's do a screen snapshot of that and see if we can zoom in on it. Hey, ice. Everything is a concept. Ice Wally, come. Truth without the picture is just an account. You'd have to interview the people 3 or 4 times before you know whether they were telling the truth or not. Yeah, and separated it as well. You want them separated. So here we go. What's that look like, guys? Looks like a banner plane, doesn't it? You can see the square shape happening here with the wind. It's sort of angled it. So that means there's going to be a plane, and it's only going to be like a single pixel at the front of it. It'll be way over here. They have quite a long tow cable on it. So he did mention he thought it was a banner plane, square rectangle. But if the plane is like a Cessna or a Piper, and it's going to be like white in color, and you know how big these banners are, they're quite big. So that means the plane's going to be really impossible to see. You can see the pixels are now showing up here. Oh, guess what? My battery's died in my mouse. That happened so many times. Let me just change it. I'll just reach over and grab a new battery. I got these USB chargeable batteries, which are quite good. They got lithium ion in them, but they're quite costly. But it saves a lot of pain. Probably should show you a picture of one. But I don't know why a mouse doesn't have like a slide-in battery that you can then just put onto a holder that charges it when you're not using it, you know. I suppose there might be one out there that exists, but they probably cost a fortune. Is it working? Looks like it. We only got 2 watching now. People come, people go. So yeah, we've got to see if we can spot this little plane, but if it's going to get smaller and smaller, it's going to be, the other videos won't be worth looking at. Sometimes you can see if the sun reflects off it, and you get like a little flicker of light. So it seemed to be going this direction in the video, so I don't think it'd be at the back. Probably about here somewhere, I would say. This is why you need an optical zoom on smartphones. I'll just put it through the regular editor anyway. Is there any other shots there worth getting? Probably not, they're all pretty much the same. No, it's not. Why would you say it was CGI? CGI is very hard to tell, you know. It's just a banner plate, I guarantee it. I've done so many of this, not funny. Did I have my volume turned down? So there it is. So we want to do a strip. So looks a bit more like a square banner. But we still can't see the plane towing it. Sometimes this can pop it out. Yeah, I think it's only going to be like a couple of dots. Probably something like there, you know. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, you can see pixel levels too small. So the background's all constant here, you know. Does that look like it could have been pasted on? CGI pixels. But it looks like it's got writing there. See that? I might have to zoom in a bit more. But I still can't see the plane. Possibly there. CGI model, you reckon? Well, I just like to prove things, you know. I think it's a proper banner, you know, white background with some writing here, and looks like maybe. But yeah, if you look at this level here, we start to see the pixels, and it looks like it's uniform pixels. So yeah, definitely looks familiar. So if I hate that. We go and look up banners. So what was the state it was in? Georgia. Normally what you'd have to do is, as an investigator, you would probably phone up the local small airports or the banner companies and ask them if they're flying around that day. Banners. Let's see how many companies are there. Aerial advertising in Georgia. Oh, there's one. Skywriting. So maybe that's the one. Banner. No. Aerial advertising. That's air sign. Air sign. What was the other one? So there's two companies, Van, Ragnar, Aerial. So yeah, you probably would have to give them a call. So what if there's any examples of their plane? Why is the images not coming down? Come on, men in black complain with my internet connection. That's stupid. How many times do I have to refresh? I'll try shift refresh. That should clear cache. Oh, that worked. So they've got these little biplanes here, obviously. Georgia. Just reduce it down. Banner plane. Here we go. So that's a little tiny one with a small sign. What does it say? Ultraviolet something or other. But that's not the banners that I'm thinking about. Here's more like what we're looking at here. Build your own Mac. So if we can't see a picture this side, so keep looking. That's more like what we're looking at here. That's getting closer. Fun ride. You can see how small it is here. And you can see how washed out that one is there. So that's probably what we're dealing with. Except for his picture is not even as good as that. But yeah, pretty sure it's going to be a banner plane. And it turned away and went away from him. I don't think it's CGI at all. Oh, here we go. It's like a double banner. So where's the plane on that one? It's way off here, see? It'll be going this direction probably. Oh no, they'd have the big one at the front though, so it should be this direction. So the plane's got cut off here. So that's what we're looking for. Black one. Black banner. Well, we'll just want one I can scale down and just put it next to it so you can see where the plane should be. but just not finding one that fits the right size banner. What's that one there? German banner. Can't see it. No. I was hoping to get it side by side. So that's a fairly big one, but that's up close. Where's your plane, peasants? Strange. Oh, here's one that's got the curvature on it. Well, that one looks fake though, doesn't it? That one's faked. It's going to be something close to that. So just do a cutout. Yeah. He's just said none of it stuffs up, doesn't it? Why is it doing that? That's strange. Didn't used to have that problem. So probably have to click on it there then. Perhaps that works after that. Quite strange. It's not working. No. Okay. Visit maybe. I think it's working now. Okay. Let's find out. Import. Where's it gone? Weird. Must be working. It's there. Why can't I see it? Up the top. I forgot about that. Here we go. Move it. So you can see how small that plane's going to be. Time we scale it down. And that's a small banner. So it could be anywhere there. It's going to be impossible to find it. Just put that underneath. Why is it not doing what I want it to? So let's see, we're assuming that then would be nice to be able to see it, that's all, to prove that it's a plane there. So just don't see it. Nope. No, it looks like it's sort of flapping in the wind there. So the plane's only going to be a couple of pixels and it's moving further away from him. I think I saw it then. I think it blinked up here. Now look, it's twisting in the wind. It's not CGI. If it is, he's done a pretty good damn job of it, going through that antenna there. But we're not going to see the plane. Yeah, mate, you're filming through a tree. It's not helping. So he tries to move past the tree, changes angle, which kind of looks suspicious, I know, because people that do CGI do that, don't they? Went out of focus then, which was interesting. I think you think went out of focus as well. No, I don't think it's CGI, but it's a bit annoying. We can't see the plane. Wonder if I can zoom in a bit more. Whoop. Now it's stuffed. There we go. Super zoom. Yeah, it's definitely bending up on the end there. Yep. One more look. Where are we? Nah, that's not CGI. You see how it was flapping there with the wind gust? So why does he zoom out? Why do that? I think I just saw the plane up here. Looks like the angle's going up this direction. Couple of pixels that sort of flashed. out of focus then. So the banner's there. So where's the point? I think it's going to be too small to see it. I've looked at these ones before. Frustrating. But anyway, not much we can do with that one. Definitely a banner though. Oh, you going to bed? Okay, good night. 3 hours. I'll probably be wrapping up soon myself, actually. Who's with me still then? What did you say before? TM. What's that stand for? Easy to move that. So it's property of DreamWorks. Where does it say that? No. So yeah, I'll just keep that. Maybe use it for fun at some stage. Part of the thumbnail for the cover for this episode tonight. So I wonder where my regular team members are. Friday should be 11 o'clock in the morning UK, and they should be around, want to join me. It's funny though, I start doing lives, and then I have Vid join me, and then he disappears, and then I get Robert, and then he disappears. Then we've now got John, and now John's disappearing. This seems to be a regular thing. Maybe people just get bored doing the same thing. I don't know. Me, I never get bored of doing it. So on to the next one. We've got another triangle. So I thought it was triangle, that one I looked at. It was up here, wasn't it? Maybe it wasn't then. So we've got a triangle overlapping another one. So how are we meant to get to that? Oh, there's a lot of triangles there. Any pictures? Nope. 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 Hey, we got a picture. Black triangle. Colorado. What do we got? The drawing. So that's not good. Is that meant to be a building or a boat? Man, people are crappy drawers nowadays. What they learn in schools nowadays? Another triangle. Hey, photograph. Have we looked at that one though? Capture in movie. What's that mean? Oh, it's a 1995 one. I don't want 1995. I want something current. I think that one was someone took it from the web or something, didn't they? I think we did look at that one last time. Here we go. Sunset shots. You know, when you take a sunset, we get lens flare. These ones are very common. Texas. Oh yeah, we looked at that one before, haven't we? I think. Oh yeah, I remember that. That's what they're claiming. I think we determined it was lens flare. So we have to look for another one. What's that one? Took a picture of a cloud. That's a big image. I think we looked at that one too. Yeah, lens flare. That's the little circles you get, orbs. Let's see, got it on super soon. Yeah, little, what do you call it? Aquamarine color, which has got autofocus artifact. Where autofocus over saturation is on the footage of the film because it bleeds into the image sensor. I don't fully understand how the technology works, but it's in between sensors, in between the normal photo cells or something. That makes a nice little grid pattern. There we go. Just look at it, the basic viewer. It'd probably be pixelated, but you might be able to see it. Not very well. But the sun's here. So creates these little dots when you get lens saturation of light. So here we go. What pixels is it? Oh. So it's a 3000 by 4000, and that makes it 12 megapixels camera, and it'll be a Samsung. Oh, well, that'll do. I can see the autofocus dots by the looks of it. You normally get the little bright dots going across. But that's a lens flare thing you get with Samsung phones. So let's see. Let's have a look at the metadata. Open, no, send to. Exit F tool. So, does it say Samsung? Hey, bingo, straight on the money. Samsung G892A. Rotated 90 degrees, which means it's landscape. Was it? Yeah, landscape. So there you go. So it's legit, but pretty boring. So we just have to keep looking. Triangle showing up over at England. No photograph. Seems to be a lack of UFOs up here. Canada. Cannot be true, can it? Oh, there we go. It's the software, it's just crazy. So where's that? It's Alberta. And Alaska's way up here, isn't it? Alaska. I suppose they don't get many UFO reports. Oh yeah, they do. Quite a few up there. Let's see. Any photographs? Yep. Cloud formation. Weird soon. So it doesn't sound too exciting. What we got this one? Outside watching the sky. Okay, let's have a look at that one. So what they're saying. I don't think we've done any Alaska ones before, actually. Was outside watching the sky. A giant red orb looked to be the size of the sun. Emerged from choppy clouds. Stopped in front of the door. It seemed to wait to be photoed. Hung out several minutes, floated away, and disappeared like a candle blown out. Does that even sound plausible? I thought you said you had a photograph. So what's these ones? Unknown. Click to view. What format's that then? You didn't put the extension on, so it didn't know. So what is it, guys? Don't know. It looks like it's a planet, you know. You normally get the ring pattern have one. That one's brighter. Could it be a Chinese lantern? So we haven't got a video, so could be anything, couldn't it? So it looks like it's been played around with, actually. That one's taking longer. Yeah, so that looks like the actual photograph here. So that looks like it might be a balloon. That one's a different shape. Well, look, no, it's out of focus. And motion blur. So he's moved it while taking the picture. Extension on. So it was that one, wasn't it? No, that one we don't want. Let's do a quick zoom on this. Yeah. I think it could be a Chinese lantern. The reason it looks long is because he's moved it while taking a picture. Slightly, not too bad. So where should the focus be? Autofocus. Don't know if he's got it manual focused. So that means the one with the halo it's probably going out of focus. Yeah, that's out of focus. Gives you the effect of the planet. So he says it took off, but it could have easily just burnt out because sky balloons only last about 20 minutes at the most, I think it was. We really need to do needed the video. Could it even be a hot air balloon? Someone doing what time of the day was it? 6 o'clock. Because that's at night time, the air settles down, or that wind speed settles down. So it could be hot air balloon, could well be. Yeah, and it lights up when they hit the flame. We won't know unless we had a video to deal with. So that one needs more information, unfortunately. So why didn't he do a video? That's just stupid. Should we go up there again to have a look? Here's one with a photo. Picture of strange looks. Yeah, okay. Looks a nice summer hot day there, but we're talking about Alaska, aren't we? Boats on the water. Is it? Is that the lights he's talking about? They look faked. It looks fake to me, actually. Let's see what. So, what's the metadata going to say? That's the one. Samsung NX10. So the metadata's here. So that's sort of good in its favor that it's not fake. Don't know, I think it's a couple of boats heading towards the shore, isn't it? Maybe you didn't notice it. Could it be lens flare? The sun's up here, it's quite bright. Well, it could be. Do we get lens flare? It looks like that. Let's see. Sun angle doesn't look right though. Well, let's find out. Lens flare. Shit, maybe. That again would be where a video would make it very easy, because as you move the camera, the lens flare would be changing to the direction where the sun is. Lens flare. So that's little dots. Pentagons, because it's the Irish, the iris, or what do you call it, the aperture shape. Here's ones. Don't know if you can get it's not going in the right direction. Might just bring it into the editor. Does sort of look like these ones though. Yeah. Can't seem to find a match for being a lens flare. Need someone that takes a lot of photographs of the sun. Or at lakes, because what happens is the sun reflects off the lake back at the camera. I suppose it's possible to get flare as it's reflecting off the lake. This was that one, was it? Yeah. Could be a couple of boats there that's reflected light back at the camera. I'll just get rid of that one. So we finally got rain today, so it cooled off today, which is quite good. Quite nice temperature at the moment. So I might be able to get a decent sleep tonight. So what's the time now? Going up to 12:30. I probably should wrap up. I've got a bit of stuff to do. Coming up to 3 hours, 10 minutes. Oh, I don't want to do it on a layer. But I suppose we could. I don't want to. So let's scale it up. A bit too big. I know. Not much different, is it? I think it's a lens flare. What's the other one look like? Is that they're identical? Why is my mouse playing up? Huh? Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? Right. Yeah, I forgot. That's what happens with layers. Duh. Because I pasted it into a layer here. Okay, let's do that again. I think that's a lens flare shape though. I did not see or hear it, so it's got to be lens flare, isn't it? I'm pretty sure you would notice boats creating ripples on water. Yep, I think that's lens flare. So, might actually wrap it up here actually. The time's flying. Hardly touch stuff again. I might just do a quick skim over UFO interest, see if he's posted anything. Suppose you need one that's sort of taken up looking down. Well, the sun's not in the picture. But there's a good one, see? It's going the opposite way though. So if it's bouncing off the water, would make the same direction. Yeah, I think so. Dun, 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 dun. So we'll put that one down to lens flare. So yeah, not too many exciting videos there at the moment. What does UFO interest have going on? I know he's been putting up stuff lately. Hello, we got two watching. How's it going? Alright, so he's done the one side debunked already. Balloon one. He says it's got string on it as well. Mile balloon. So it made coast to coast, did it? Got tethered to some kind of protruding. Appears to be a silver pill-shaped object. Well, I think it's a letter balloon. Meta Mile balloon, that one. So, fake. What's this one? Fake. Don't know what that is. CGI artist. Oh, that's the one talking about at the counter. Funny video comparison. Security Council. Contact with aliens at UN. So that's a fake. They're saying it transforms, is it? I don't know. I don't know what this is about. Announce contact with aliens at UN. So that must be the video here. So why is it not playing? That's kind of annoying, isn't it? I think I had this problem before. I'll just reload it. It's got a YouTube link there. Oh, here we go. He's made it into an animated gift. Oh no, we looked at it before. Okay, YouTube. Let's go to that. Why is it not working? Hidden camera. Well, they're trying to say she's an alien. I don't get it. Okay, what that sounds. I don't get it. Hidden camera, first year can happen, Pentagon Pyramid. It doesn't look like a hidden camera, it looks like someone's holding it in their hand and zooming in. For starters. So I don't get what are we meant to be looking at on that. It's got me beat. The source was there. Well, I didn't see it shape-shifting. Some CGI fakery going on anyway. What do you say? So it's been posted on Reddit, has it? Hidden camera. Someone created a video source fake. Okay. Not sure what we're meant to see, but it must have been a frame there where it was a man sitting in a chair. So what else we got? Comparison. Oh, it's got a comparison, is it? Oh no, we just looked at that. And what else we got? Still the same thing. Still going on. And that's the airship one. You are blocked. What are we looking at here? Lens flare. Oh, yep, there's another lens flare, obviously. Street lamp. Yep, that was an easy one. What the hell is that? 2 million views. Thanks to this guy. Oh, what is it? Some sort of fish? Alien. Oh, here we go. No, it's not a fish. Obviously, some fake. I think. Some funny creatures in the sea. Some type of squiddy thing. So what did they say it was? CGI? Animation, nope. And Aaron special effects. So he's found the source, YouTube. So someone's just reused it and bashed it as an alien one. Just pause it there. Sure enough. Fake. It's in some other language. What is it? Italian? No. Spanish? Brazil. Yeah, could it be South America? They seem to make a lot of fakes down there, though, don't they? Anyway, I think we'll just wrap it up there, eh? Since there's no one watching. Well, it might be one, whoever that is. So since John's not about and Robert's not about, I will end up now. 3.5 hours is long enough, I think, for tonight. And I'll see you again Sunday, my time, which will be Saturday, 10 p.m. California. So if you want to join me again. So I'll just play the end credits and say goodnight. And do like and share. It helps me out. Well, it helps you get the more popular comments work better still on videos. Google sees it as a positive thing, interactive, so they share it more. But of course, they are mucking around with the search results. So good night, and see you again. Take care out there.